Creativity perspective on localized and non-localized energy. In the journey of exploration into our creativity, the discussion on back to basics, the mud, the stuff of creation, viewed from the creativity perspective, it was stated that what we call energy has been seen by both scientists and many mystics underlying all of creation. Everything within physical creation is seen as requiring or running on energy. Without a flow of energy, there is no animation and nothing happens. Everything we experience, no matter what it is, arises from a result of a flow of energy. Without the movement a flow of energy provides, there is nothing to observe. All physical creation is composed of energy. Under the correct conditions, it has been observed energy can be converted to mass and mass converted to energy. It was also stated, it was observed within the creativity perspective, at the simplest level, our thoughts can be seen as our mind characterizing, describing, or otherwise somehow explaining the energy we perceive and experience at some level of our being. So if we wish to get a better understanding of how we generate thoughts with the goal of being able to generate different thoughts and or expand the range of thoughts we have, it is important to understand the energy we sense. Before we proceed, here it needs to be remembered that the focus of this recording is directed at empowering our creativity and our creative imagination and uses the creativity perspective. It is directed at stretching our perceptions about reality. Some of the concepts presented are analogies and serve a pedagogical purpose. One should not assume they are exactly the way creation works, but are effective for our creativity and the exploration of our creativity and of creation. Although these concepts may be used literally in some situations, you are encouraged to see them symbolically. We can talk about energy being converted to matter and matter to energy. It is probably clear we can feel unbounded, non-localized energy. We can feel the rays of the sun on our body. We can readily feel the heat or the energy that lies in the infrared range of electromagnetic energy. However, if we look at some inanimate object with mass, which is composed of energy, most do not feel the energy from the object. We could say that we see the object and perceive its energy because we can see it, but technically that is not correct. What we experience is not the energy from the object. Rather, we see the energy reflected off the object from the sunlight or any lamps. This is true for many things we experience in life. We experience them through our five senses, and the experience we have within the body registers as a thought. But in these experiences through our five senses, we are not sensing the energy of the object as transformed as its mass. Rather, the energy of this object's mass can be perceived, and we perceive it in the realm of what can be called feeling, and we can feel it at some level of our being. There are what we can call levels to our being, but there really are no levels as such. Rather, it is just a way of describing an expansion of our awareness, and as we expand our awareness, it is like moving to a different level of perception. Energy has been experienced by humans ever since humans existed. Although non-localized energy can be expressed as waves, understanding energy being described as waves has not always been the case. Perceiving energy with a wave nature appears to have first began to unfold in the 1800s. Faraday in 1831 developed the idea of an electric field. This was followed by Maxwell in 1873 when Maxwell's mathematics described light as a propagating wave of electric and magnetic fields. Maxwell's equations revealed that electromagnetic waves exist and led to the discovery that there were intangible fields that we do not see. These equations revealed for the first time the existence of these fields. The solution to these equations was a wave equation. This solution resulted in a wave system. This system was composed of electric and magnetic fields which give rise to each other while traveling through what can be seen as empty space. The result of Maxwell's equations was the form of electromagnetic waves was expressed in a mathematical formula. The mathematics revealed the magnetic fields and electric fields are inextricably linked. Also revealed was this electromagnetic field was solely responsible for bringing the linked electric and magnetic fields into existence. Here an important note needs to be made. Maxwell's description of electromagnetic radiation as a wave arose out of the mathematical solutions to four equations. The impact of this discovery has been phenomenal and cannot be understated. It has transformed our world. If you wish, you can say these fields are imaginary constructs and not real. However, the understanding is the result of a mathematical model. is not necessarily the correct way creation works. It may be an exceptionally good description and a fantastic approximation of creation, yet there is the possibility another model and a different approach may reveal the same findings and possibly phenomenal additional findings. The concept of energy being expressed as waves has been an effective model, but it may only be the best the human mind currently can understand to explain energy at this point in time. However, viewing energy as a wave has been so phenomenally useful it is hard to look for another model for energy. The phenomenon of energy is real. How we explain it and perceive it is our choice. What is important to note is that sometimes it is better to see energy as a wave or as a particle. One question that can be asked is, are there perceptions of energy to which we do not pay attention because we see it as a wave? One reason why this is discussed here is observations made within the creativity perspective in holding our creativity sacred suggests there is more to energy and how our awareness interacts with energy that is not being captured by the current understanding used by science, spirituality, and metaphysics. You as the listener can do your own exploration into your creativity to see if what is said here is true. In any case, along with energy being expressed as a wave, it was later found waves could act as particles and matter exhibiting wave-like behavior. Although electromagnetic radiation acting as discrete packets of energy was observed in 1901, the existence as a particle was suggested in 1905. Yet packets of energy was not generally accepted. In time, electromagnetic radiation was recognized, and the particle form of energy was called photons, and then the term photon appeared to make its appearance in 1916, but initially not generally used. As for matter possessing wave properties, it was first formalized in 1924 by de Broglie, but suggestions of it existed in 1923. The wave nature of matter was unexpectedly observed in 1925 and formally verified a couple of years later. Whether it be a wave acting like a particle or as matter, it can be said that each particle has a wave nature or component. It can be said the energy becomes localized in the form of a particle. Although most of the energy of the particle is localized in the form of the particle still retains a wave component that expands into and through all of creation. It is this wave nature of the particle that is important relative to our creativity, for it helps to explain how we perceive objects in different ways than just through the five senses of our body. Depending on the focus of our attention and awareness, we can perceive the energy of any object, although most of us normally not do this. Nevertheless, it is possible. As discussed in the discussion, Back to Basics, the mud, the stuff of creation viewed from the creativity perspective, awareness can be seen and experienced as energy. As such, even when localized in a human, it still has the ability to place itself anywhere in creation by how it focuses its attention and awareness. As seen in the accompanying picture, we can imagine a majority of our awareness localized as a particle, like our awareness located in our body. But an aspect of our awareness extends to infinity. As such, by proper focus of our attention and awareness, as represented by the magnifying glass, we can place our awareness anywhere in creation to experience that aspect of creation while still localized in our body. The question is, how do we focus ourselves to create what we desire to experience? As discussed in the topic, energy conversion to thoughts, creating something out of nothing, pair production, particles, thoughts, and duality, we can be seen to create a resonance cavity. How and what we think and believe causes us to function much like a resonance cavity, selecting certain energies by how we focus our attention and awareness by what we choose to think and believe. We are then energized or resonate by certain energies we experience as ideas or thoughts. Relative to our creativity, whether we see ourselves as a body, as a spirit incarnate in a body, or as fully integrated mind, body, spirit as one being, each of these perspectives represent an energy localized into our body, which has a wave portion and spans all of creation. The goal is to help understand by what we think and believe and how we create and integrate concepts to access the depth and breadth of our creative power and creative ability available to us to create a life worth living, whatever a life worth living looks like to you. It is one of the many challenges we face in life.